Hey guys, how's it going? Laura with Garden Answer. Today I'm planting in kind of a hard spot in my garden, but I'm excited about it because I think I've got it figured out and I think it's gonna look nice. So you can see what I have to deal with in this spot. I have a little pump house, a couple of irrigation boxes, a hose bib and my hose, and an AC unit. And as you guys know, it's hard to plant around these kinds of things, especially when they're all clustered in the same spot. Like, what do you put in to where it doesn't get too big, to where you can still access everything, and something, you know, without thorns, something that's not gonna overtake the space. So anyway, let me show you where we're at though. So we're on the west side of the house. Right to my right, there's a little boxwood hedge that kind of goes around a sidewalk. The rose garden is right beyond that, and I've showed you guys that before. And then if we kind of move a little bit to the other side, there's pretty much nothing. So we actually just had all the stuff on this side of the house removed because it was old. You can still see there is a quince there that was probably 10, 12 feet tall. It went all the way up to the eave of the house. You couldn't see out the windows, so that's gonna be removed. And then you guys will be able to see everything else that we plant in this spot. So that it'll be kind of an exciting transformation, I think. There's also a massive juniper right in front of me that provides some filtered sun in this spot. So it's a really nice area light-wise. So what I'm gonna plant are some blue Kazoo spireas. They are a fantastic shrub, and in fact, it's one of my favorites right now, just because I got to see it break dormancy and I got to see like kind of how the leaves look. They have kind of this cool blue look to their foliage, but when they break dormancy and push new growth, the new growth has kind of a burgundy tint to it. And I think that that just makes for a really dynamic, pretty foliage structure color. And they also bloom beautifully, and that's why they're actually part of a series called the Double Play series, because they are known for their beautiful foliage as well as their beautiful blooms. And these are a really bright, crisp white, blooming in clusters. And once they're planted and more established, they'll be just covered in blooms. And they also turn bright red in the fall. So I think they're gonna be gorgeous. They only get 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So they're almost at their mature size. So I think in this area, it's gonna be perfect. They're deer resistant plant, which is something I don't deal with, but I know a lot of you guys do. So that's a really good thing about it. And they're also a zone 3 through 8, which is helpful. And I'll tell you why it's super helpful to me. We're a zone 5, which means I need to plant things that are hardy down to -20. But I'm having to plant one of these in a container because right in between here, there's a lot of water stuff. There's electrical that goes up to the house, and I cannot dig a hole right there. So my solution is to put it in a container, something that's lightweight, so it's easily, you know, you can easily move it if you need to get in there and work, or if some guys are here and they need to access this spot, they can do that and it won't hurt my plant. So the plant being a zone 3 gives me an extra buffer in the wintertime, so I can still leave it here, and I know that it'll be a lot safer being a little bit more hardy. So I'm just gonna get these things in the ground, and then I wanna show you something else I'm gonna do that's really pretty. All right, so they're all planted, so now I'm just gonna mulch the area. And I like to use planting compost for mulch just because it's really a nice, dark, rich brown color, and there's lots of goodies in it. The mulching is done, which always makes every area look just so nice. But there's one more thing I want to add to this space, because we've got blooms now, late spring, but then the blooms will stop and it'll just be followed by the really pretty foliage, but I want some bright color right here. So I'm gonna fill this whole area in with these impatiens. I think it's gonna look so pretty. These are called the Extreme Sapphire Mix. So I'm gonna kind of start just right behind the hose bib there and just fill in this spot. Those impatiens add a lot, don't they? Just that little pop of color, and when they put on a little bit more growth and get even more color, it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. And I think that these blue Kazoo spireas will be just perfect for this spot, because with them only growing like 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, they're not gonna grow much more than they are right now. So I shouldn't have to be pruning on them. If I do need to prune them for shape, best time to do that is right after they bloom in spring, because they do bloom on old wood. So you want to make sure that that's the only time of the year that you prune, otherwise you might be pruning off next year's blooms. So that's it for this project, but this area isn't quite done. So I do want to add one more plant. So something right about where I'm standing to add a little bit of height, maybe something with some winter interest. So maybe like a castle spire holly, something that stays a little more narrow, a boxwood, some kind of a small spruce. It does get a good amount of sun, filtered sun throughout the day, so I think that any evergreen would work okay here, but I'm just not sure. I haven't decided. So if you guys have any good ideas or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.